Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
Welcome to Ask Amy from What Fresh Hell, laughing in the face of motherhood, solving your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. Today's question is from Becca, who emailed us to ask, where is the line between verbalizing the mental load and not talking everyone to death and annoying myself and my partner in the process? I want my partner to recognize and understand all that I do as a stay-at-home mom to keep our house and family running. But at what point should I just put my head down and do my job? I do view this as my job, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And it makes it confusing to decide what to verbally offload and what to keep to myself. Becca, talking about the mental load, which is more often called the invisible workload, is not a one and done thing. So I think you're right to sort of negotiate how does this just not turn into me, the harridan with the frying pan, while the guy rolls his eyes. The problem around all this is, I think, that the invisible workload is just that. And if it is going to be made visible, which it should be, there's one person who it's on. That's on you. Your spouse, who doesn't really understand how much you do for the family, can't do that work. So I'm team talk about it. You can not care if your spouse is annoyed, although that's easier said than done, right? If you are talking about this, do you not know how much I do? It's viewed as complaining. Then it's something that your spouse is going to shut down to, that he's going to feel like he needs to be protected from, that he's going to roll his eyes at, because it's easier to do that than deal with your spouse being angry at you. So I think it's important to think about what your goal is when you talk about it. Look, I think you get to say, oh, today was horrible. I mean, you have no idea what it's like around here at bath time. You get to say that. I'm talking about a bigger conversation here. Can we make some time tonight to sit down together and talk about? And then when you go into that, it seems to me you're really asking for one of two things when you sit down and have that conversation. You don't understand how much I do around here. You're either asking for help. You're either asking for concrete, this needs to change, and here are some thoughts that I might have about it, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. Or you're looking for your partner to say, I see what you're doing. It's a lot. Thank you. You say in your email that it's actually the second thing for you, that you view this as your job, you're okay with the division of labor, and you wouldn't have it any other way. And that's how it was in my house too. And there wasn't a lot of friction around that. But for me, the annoyance wasn't, I have to take the kids to school every day. It wasn't, I have to give the kids a bath every night. I mean, that was what I was doing, and I was happy to do it. And was hard or is not hard, I was happy to do it. What I was not okay with was the socks thrown on the floor instead of in the hamper. The omelet pan. You guys have heard me talk about that over and over again. But the problem with the omelet pan is it was left out for me to do. I don't eat eggs. I don't like eggs. So the omelet pan was by definition not food that I could participate in the eating of or enjoying of, just the cleaning up after. And the spouse who works outside the home, the spouse who is not the default parent, of course, I'm talking about living in a 2-parent household here. But if you have a spouse who's a default parent, this work does get invisible. And that's on me a little bit too, right? That I'm cleaning up that omelet pan every day and seething with resentment so that this can happen again the next day. Or the socks on the floor, I picked them up. Nobody respects me around here. I needed to sit down and talk to my spouse about those things, about the socks, about the omelet pan. Those are things that my spouse spending a couple more seconds, and it is seconds. Okay, the omelet pan's maybe like 20 seconds to rinse it out. Don't leave it to soak in the sink. Don't come at me with leaving it in the sink. Rinse it out with some soapy water and put it right back on the stove, which is what he does now. It's already ready to go the next morning. I needed him to do those things so that I wouldn't seethe with resentment, so that I had the energy to do the bath time and the this and the taking the kids to school. It did take sitting down with him and saying, the story I tell myself when you have the socks on the floor instead of in the hamper that's right there is that you think I work for you. I don't think you work for me. Okay, can you just fix this one thing for me? It made the other stuff I was doing so much easier. Now, if you're asking for help, if you really are taking on more than you can handle, which you may well be with little kids at home, we have an episode with Eve Rodsky, who wrote a book called Fair Play. I'm going to put the link in the show notes. You should definitely listen to that interview. Eve Rodsky's book is really useful because it talks you through a structure that isn't you complaining. We need to sit down. We need to look at these things. You write down what you do, taking your kid to a birthday party and getting a present for that birthday party. I don't have to tell you, has 12 steps, not one step. There's getting the wrapping paper. There's wrapping it. There's taping it. There's finding a card. There's getting the kid to write her name. I mean, there's all these steps. It's invisible. Your spouse might not know these things. Your partner might have no idea what's involved. So you walk through all the steps and then you hand over something concrete. There's much more detail in that episode and in Eve Rodsky's book. But if it's help you're looking for, there's structure around there that will keep your spouse in the conversation instead of saying, oh, there you go again. Either way, you're getting more of what you want so that you can dedicate yourself to really what is your job and doing all the things you do so well without the resentment that just gets in the way. I hope that helps, Becca. Send us your parenting questions and we might answer yours next. Email us questions@whatfreshhellpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 40% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.